Hi, welcome to the Red Booth Show. On tonight's episode, I have a very interesting story about a champion boxer and how his career took a turn into a new exciting career as well. His name is David Nino Rodriguez, so come and join us. All right, so hi David.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, thank you so much for coming today. I just think that you have such an amazing story. I would love for you to start from the beginning and kind of talk about like how you sort of got into boxing.
I mean, that's a long story, but it basically started when it goes with the campaign that I'm doing now, which is the anti-bullying one. The reason I thought of it was because when I first, as a child, I was getting picked on all the time, and that's what really propelled me into boxing. I was getting picked on by, actually the first time around, I was 6 years old at a playground. I was getting beat up by a little girl.
What?
Every day. So my dad was like,
okay, but you
no
must
chance you're gonna be.
You're like 6 feet tall, 6'4".
Well, but not when I was 6 years old.
Okay, but you must have been like at least tall, like
No,
for your
I was,
age.
I was actually a little kid, man, little tiny kid, man, and the girl was a lot bigger than me, but yeah, she picked on me every day at the playground, and after a while, my dad actually was the one that took me to the boxing gym, and went straight to the boxing gym. And after that, it was all she wrote.
Oh wow, amazing!
Yeah, that's how it started.
And so, how did you start getting like professionally into boxing?
It just, it kept me out of trouble during my adolescence. I was always in trouble. I was always doing something. I was always getting. There was a police officer actually that started taking me to the boxing gym every day because he made a deal with me. He's like, listen, if you stop getting in trouble so much, I'll start picking you up for school and take you to the boxing gym, so that way I don't have to pick you up on calls anymore.
What?
So he picked me up, and sure enough, every day after school he would take me to the boxing gym, and then it just, our relationship really blossomed. He was like a mentor to me, and then I started training with the best trainers in the Southwest area, and then my first
amateur. Texas, right?
Yeah, Texas. Cool. And then my first amateur fight, I knocked out the junior Olympic champion.
Whoa.
And then from there it just exploded.
How old were you?
I was 14, and that guy looked like, I think he was like 19, 20, he had a beard.
You did?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I was barely going through puberty.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's been a long and very illustrious career. It's been great. It's been great.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't believe, all of you have no losses. You have 36 fights, and then you did after the incident, which we were going to talk about, but your career was like undefeated. You were undefeated.
36-0, 34 knockouts, and it was a really exciting ride for as long as it lasted.
And 24 of those was in the first round, right?
24 in the first round.
That's quite
I look back, I don't even know how I did that.
Dang.
It was a great career, like I said. But while I was going through it, it was happening so fast. I didn't realize it was even, until I look back. Hindsight's 20/20. Until I look back, then I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe I did that. I was able to do that.
That just so you guys know is even better than Mike Tyson's stats.
Well, his first round, I beat him like a 1-2 fights, I think it is, for first round. But that guy was heavyweight champion. Mike is like
definitely
an idol.
definitely he's an icon. But it's just you can compare the first round knockouts. It's really
I did well.
Awesome.
I did well on that aspect. Yes, definitely.
Wow. So you were in boxing for around 16 years or so?
Well, no, most of my life. Probably about 31 years, 32 years, because I started when I was just 6 years old. So competitively, I started fighting at 14, and then I turned pro at 21.
Okay.
And then that's when it just all took off, was after 21. But I was always training, and I was in the arena, and then I was back in the training gym, and in the gym, and then back in the arena. It was a very stressful, high adrenaline life.
I'm sure.
Very different than what most people lead,
So like you're basically in the gym every day, boxing every day.
That's all I did.
Yeah.
That's all I did. It was 8 hours a day, and then as the fights got tougher and tougher, and we had to pick up the pace, man, I was in the gym, 8-9 hours, and then it was a lifestyle, not even it just became. It almost felt like slavery. Like my slave owners were like my trainer and manager. When the fun started going, that's when I started really losing it for the sport, as in the drive wasn't there as much as when it just started becoming so routine, so that was, obviously towards the last 4 years of my career.
Right. How soon after that you started to feel that way did you have this run-in? I don't know if you guys know the story, but basically David was attacked. He was knifed
Well, the way that happened was, I used to have two extremes, and the book that I'm writing right now, that I'm going to be talking about that. It's about how I juggled two extremes, how I tried to deal with the lifestyle of boxing, and then as soon as I would go into camp, it'd be like 3-4 months of just strict diet, strict training. Everything was very strict. It was like, I used to call it my prison. Like, I'd go and throw away the key. And then afterwards, I didn't know how to deal with it or the pressure, so I would go into the drinking phase and go party with all my friends and go. I was juggling two extremes.
Right.
So it was, it was in December 2011. I was walking out of a bar after I just won. I think it was my 6th championship, and it was the NABU championship. And I'm walking out, and we're already in the top 10. I'm feeling great about everything. Everything is looking up, and we got into a confrontation, and basically, a lot of words going back and forth between me and these individuals, and obviously drinking was involved. And as
they shouldn't piss you off, I would say.
Well, I'm never gonna fight anybody with a knife again. So, as I walked up to these guys, they kind of scattered, and then when I turned around, they came behind me and just slit my whole throat. And at that moment, I knew, I thought for sure it was dead. Man, that was it. I just after that moment, like, they didn't, I bled out so much. I just remember waking up in the ambulance and then falling back out again, waking up again, falling back out, and then 2 days later I wake up in the hospital and I have 369 stitches, and
that's all here along.
Yeah, all along. I guess people don't see it, but when that happened, it just changed my whole life. Like, it took my boxing career basically. It didn't take my life, but it took my boxing career, is what I tell people. But it was such a huge and fundamental change in my life, and it kind of helped me go into what I'm doing now, but it did take away my career, I believe. So.
Wow. How long did it take for you to recover from that?
Oh, man. I don't even know if I'm recovered yet. I don't know. It's like, there's a lot of PTSD involved and stuff like that, but it's like physically, I thought I was better within 6 months, but it could have been. I think I underestimated the trauma of the event. So, I like I said, I went back into fighting like immediately, and I lost, and that was my first loss ever. And I have to contribute it to that because I don't feel like I was 100% at all. So, I don't like excuses, but it's what it is, Yeah. I can't help but realize that that's when my losses happened, was after the attack. I haven't been able to really redeem myself yet.
Well, I'm sure you could if you wanted to.
I want it. I keep thinking about going back, but I got to make the right choices for my health. So.
Well, these were people that you didn't know, right? The people that
I had no idea who they are. They were never caught. My friend got stabbed with me. He got stabbed in the arm and shoulder, and he we both don't remember who these people are, and that didn't help in the case at all. So.
Do you remember even what they look like at all, or?
Not at all. No, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, right.
I just know they probably remember me, though.
So if anyone has any information about these guys, you need to come forward and let us know.
It was bad, but I'm dealing with it now. Everything's all right, and I'm going into a positive direction.
That's right. So now you are doing some very interesting things, like you have a new movie that you're going to be.
No, actually, yeah. So I didn't come out here looking for that, but a friend of mine that's directing a movie called Brothers James Retribution. It's a Western movie, and so they're like, "Hey man, we want to cast you. You got nothing else you're doing right now, right?"
Are you gonna be like a cowboy? Or?
There's an old outlaw named John Wesley Hardin that was from El Paso, my hometown. That was a womanizing alcoholic. Well, he was a womanizer. The outlaw killed about 40-something people, and they're like, "Man, you'd be perfect for the role." I'm like, "What gave you that idea?" So I was like, "All right." So I'm doing it, and
you're gonna have to act really hard on that one.
Well, just dress me up in Western gear and follow me around on a Saturday night. So I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good times. I'm happy just to be around the people that I'm around doing it. It's like being a kid and pretending. That's all it is. It's fun.
That's amazing. So did you guys already start shooting?
No, we started at the end of August, I believe.
Awesome.
So
it's going to be coming out in 2016.
Yeah, it's like a historic thing they're trying to do.
Yes.
So that's cool.
That's great.
So it's getting a lot of publicity in the Southwest and all that, so that's fun, you know. And
that's fantastic. And also, you were heavyweight champion in Texas and New Mexico.
Well, those are the state titles I won, but I won the North American Boxing Association, the NABA, which is all like Canada, America, Mexico.
Wow.
I won the WBC Mexican Heavyweight Championships. I was right there in the top 10 in the world. So, no, I have the credentials for sure. But it's I mean, believe me, I think about it every day. I really, in my heart of hearts, I want to go back to boxing, but I have to make the right choices, and I'm getting tugged in a lot of different directions because all the promoters are calling. Trust me, they want me to come back, but I know what they see. They see money. You know, they see the dollar sign. They don't really see my health, and that's what I got to think of right now.
Would it be like physically a long path before you were able to like box again?
I think it's gonna be it's gonna take me at least 6 months to even get a fight, because I know my body, and I know that just to get in that condition and my mindset and all that, to have to change again to being that, have that predator instinct to get in there and fight and put away everything. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work because I know who I am and how I deal with pressure and all that.
Well, to me, to like an untrained eye, I look at you and I'm like, oh my God, he could go box right now. Like, you look like you're ready to box.
It's such that sport. You have to be so conditioned and the elasticity you have to have, the fluidity. Right now, I've been doing some running and lifting weights, but that doesn't do anything for boxing. Boxing is all the devil's in the details. Like, you cannot, the sport will only respect you as much as you respect it, you know. So it's not like I can't just jump in the ring tomorrow or in a week. I'd have to really train hard for at least 6 months, especially me being out a year. There's no way.
Wow.
Because I know what it takes, and it's not like that. So.
That makes me think, you know, I was going to ask you what advice you have for kids that want to get into boxing.
You better love it with all your heart and put it first place before anything else. There's nothing else I can say. I mean, if you want to box or do MMA or anything like that, you have to 100% make that your priority. There's nothing else that can take the place of that. Nothing. Not a woman, not family. That is your first responsibility, would be boxing. Because it'll only respect you as much as you respect it. I always kept that in my mind when I was coming up. And you got to put it first, always. So if you can do that, go for it. If not, if you don't even think, if there's this much doubt that you can do that, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's a tough sport. I mean, that's just the reality of it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's just, that's what I tell all kids, and a lot of kids will just get turned off by that. But it's true. It's just the way the sport is. It's the nature of the beast.
It's good advice, especially coming from someone who had 36 wins straight with no losses.
None.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's different career to partake in, but it worked out for me.
How can I ask you a silly question?
Yeah.
How do boxers deal with like getting broken noses and all that stuff? Like,
I don't think you ever really deal with it. It's just you learn to like train through pain, you know, because you have to, because you know that's where your paycheck's coming. You have to. There's no way around it. But I've seen a lot of fighters that, like, every time I fought a guy that had a messed up face and had cauliflower ears, I knew he'd be an easy fight.
Really?
Because he gets hit too much.
Oh.
So those guys never intimidated me. Never.
Hit.
No, I was always like, they just don't know how to move their head. So that's how I looked at it.
Yeah, you don't have any like noticeable like boxer side effects. Yeah.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's why I'm kind of stepping away right now. I don't want to push my luck.
Well, you're gonna shoot a movie.
Yeah, maybe after that, then I might go back to boxing. After that.
Cool.
So we'll see. It's like I said. I right now the best thing for me is rest, and just letting my head clear with all the stuff that I went through.
How long ago did the incident happen?
That happened December 2011. So, 2012 was a rough year, and it's been really hard ever since. But it's still fresh, really. It really is still fresh.
Yeah, it's really not that long.
And people are surprised that I even talk about it. I talk about it because for me.
Why would they get surprised about that?
Well, because a lot of people, the PTSD that comes with it, and like the trauma, like people don't want to talk about getting knifed. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's like I feel like it helps me get over it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think it's really great that you've started to go out and talk about bullying, and you do like public speaking about this, don't you?
Yeah, I go and I speak. I wanted to spend my time, because there was two directions I could have taken, And a lot of fighters, when they retire, they take, alcohol, drugs, and they go the wrong route. And believe me, that's very tempting for me. I was, I didn't want to even face my problems at all.
Yeah.
So I decided that I could either go that route or I can use what I've done to go a positive route. So what I decided to do was we created an organization called Lucid Love, and it's an anti-bullying organization that we do presentations for kids all over Texas. And it's very interesting because I go and speak to all the kids in the juvenile detention centers. I speak to kids in alternative programs, which I was in all the time. Other kids, I can relate to them. I love talking to those kids because that's where I was at. And boxing was my outlet. Boxing was my way I could get out of that.
Yeah.
And we go and speak to all the gangs and that are locked up and this and that. And I talk to them and I give my presentation, an anti-bullying presentation. It's about an hour and 15 minutes. And man, it's really cool to see like the transformation in kids on how they perceive me coming in. Like there'll be cops talking before me, or firemen or whatever, and they don't really listen to them because they kind of look at them like, these are the guys that threw me in here. You know what I mean?
They don't relate.
So then I come in and the heavyweight boxer, this and that, and I start talking about the humiliating stories I had growing up being picked on by a girl, and then in junior high, and then all this stuff, and they start laughing, and then they can start to relate, and I kind of ease them into it, and then. Nothing really is that bad to them, you know what I mean? It just seems like, well, he's been through it and he went off to be a boxing champion, so I have a chance. So it's kind of like striking a nerve and relating to these kids, and that's been the most important thing for me and been helping me deal with my own situation and therapeutically. Like I'm getting, I feel like I'm being able to talk about it to absolute strangers, even on here on this television, is therapy for me. It's helping me, to be honest. So it's good all the way around.
That's amazing. And do you have any like programs for kids if they want to like do boxing? Like how would they even start?
I haven't really started training anybody yet because I don't feel the urge to get in the gym just yet. Like the most I'm doing is running the treadmill and doing some weights here and there. But I haven't even wanted to start taking anybody to the gym and training them yet. I've been asked, but I'm not ready for that yet emotionally. It still triggers too much inside of me to be in the ring, and I'm not ready for that just yet.
Well, I can't wait until the day that you decide to, if you do. To do
what,
that.
To get back in the ring or train people?
To get back in the ring. But if you
everybody
don't,
wants to see me back in the ring, but they're not the ones that have to do it.
That's true. Well, either way, we'll see you on the big screen in some movies.
We'll see where that goes. We'll see where that goes. It's gonna be fun. Like I said, they came to me and I opened it with wide arms. I was like, all right, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. But it's just all in fun. It's not. It's all I'm taking it as right now, just as fun. So it's been a step in a good fun direction.
That's good. You deserve some fun.
I need it.
You do.
I need it for sure.
That's amazing. Well, good. So any other projects on the horizon?
No, that's it right now. I got my plate full right now. I'm happy. It's been a good ride. So.
Great.
Will I go back to boxing? I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
That's right.
We'll see if I get bored.
We'll have to be like, stay tuned to find out if David Nino gets back into boxing.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's all, like I said, right now I'm just having some fun and enjoying life a little bit, which I feel like I need to.
And let's tell everybody where they can find your charity.
It's lucidlove.org, or you can go to my website, davidninorodriguez.com, and I have my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Instagram on there. But lucidlove.org I'm so proud of these people, man. That like the family that I teamed up with, they lost their son to bullying. He committed suicide, and so this is a memory of Sebastian Cabana. So we're really pushing forward with this and really trying to make this happen. And it's picked up like steam big time in Texas, and they're really holding it down while I'm in LA, and they're down there and they're doing a lot of good things. So I'm proud of them, and it's been very rewarding for me to create something like this, especially with all the kids we're helping. It's unbelievable how many families I talk to that actually have their kids being picked on. You have no idea, and how many kids are actually contemplating suicide. It's more than you know. It's staggering numbers.
It seems like there's more bullying nowadays than there ever
was before. There's cyberbullying, and that's a whole other new animal that kids have to deal with that we didn't have to. Me growing up, if I was just scared of getting my butt kicked in the schoolyard in front of the whole school, which happened, and but for them, it's like, these kids, they have to deal with going home and just getting ruined on the internet, and that's what's really, kids. That's where kids are really taking their lives, is when it comes to that level. Mm-hmm. When it gets to that level, that's where things are that's the game changer. and that's really hard to deal with. So we're reaching out to these kids and like really trying to make an impact and a difference in their lives.
I'm really appreciative of that, because I actually have kids that are in school and they've been in public school and middle school and everything, and they've told me about it too. It's very intense.
Well, they can visit the site lucidlove.org. You know, we got counselors coming on board. We got a lot of people coming on board. I mean, it's just starting, it's growing, but it's really taking off.
Yeah.
And it's very organic the way it's growing. So that's how we wanted it to be. And sure enough, just people are coming from all over to help, and it's like unbelievable. Because man, more people than you know have been picked on at some point in their life, and it actually has made them who they are today, or destroyed them in a sense, or they can't get over it. So everyone has suffered from this to some kind of impact.
Yeah.
So it's interesting where it's going, and I'm very proud of the people that I've teamed up with. Seriously, they're holding it down a lot in Texas.
It's amazing. I'm so happy to hear about it, and I'm
Thank
definitely
you.
going to be, following what you guys are doing, and
Thank you.
yeah, and I hope someday you find that girl that picked on you, and you're like, hey, I became a boxer. What do you think?
If she's
about
still
that?
bigger than me, then there's going to be
I
a
don't
real
think
problem.
I don't think she is. That would be.
Oh man. No, I mean, I'm definitely over it.
That's cool. So I saw that you had some really amazing fights. Like you beat Owen Beck, and
that one I was really nervous because I every time I get into a fight, I'm like, very nervous. I got a lot of the butterflies. I'm scared. I walk in with all those emotions. But when you get to the arena, your confidence just, what you've done, how hard you've trained. But fighting Owen was really like one of the he was Don King's guy, and I felt like I never fought anybody at his caliber. So I didn't, so many thoughts go through your mind, like what's going to happen if he does this? How do I react to this and that? And I know he's a real busy fighter, and, I just didn't really know how I was going to respond to his punches. But once I got in the ring and started fighting him and things started rolling, I started reading his shots really well. And
does that mean like you can see where he's coming from?
Yeah,
before?
in a weird sense, it's like it was almost like I just picked every shot. I was blocking every shot perfectly. And then I just saw that opening, and I just, bam, I caught him, and it was over. And he was out for I think it was 8 minutes.
I heard it was over 15 minutes.
No, it was long. I don't know. I didn't sit there and keep time. But,
I think
but it was a long time.
From the research I did, he was out for over 15 minutes.
When I got on, I got on one knee, and I made the sign of the cross, and I sat there, and the whole arena went quiet.
Wow.
Because people were looking at this guy. He wasn't getting up, and so. As I remember when I took the knee, I was like, oh, no. I wanted to win, but I didn't want it to be like this. So I remember they brought him oxygen. I remember he had blood coming out of his eyes and his ears, and I was scared.
Whoa.
And that, when he finally made it up, I went up and I talked to him. I said, hey, listen, I go, man, from warrior to warrior, I go, man, you don't need to fight again. I go, after a traumatic blow like this, you're never the same. So I told him, don't fight again, man. I go, don't. I mean, take this as, get out while you can. You're good, you're healthy. But I think he went off and fought again and got knocked out, because once that starts happening, your body's not the same. Once you get knocked out like that, to that level of devastation, it's a global shutdown in your body, and you either need to take a couple years off and let your mind. That's why I'm resting too, because when I got knocked out, I knew that, okay, I got to step away. So I told him that, but he went off and fought again, got knocked out again. So
yeah, and I mean it can cause a lot of long-term effects.
Oh, big time. I mean, I know so many fighters that just didn't know the proper time to walk away, or they had bills to pay and kids to feed, and they kept in the business and they kept fighting. And man, sure enough, they can't even speak. They can't even spell their name. It's really sad. It's sad, and let me tell you, it's more prevalent than you think. I know so many fighters that are like that. That just didn't. You never know the right time to step away. It just sneaks up on you, and the next thing you know, you got some kind of neurological problem. So
okay, so never mind. Don't go back.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm dealing with. That's
just make movies.
Well, if they do, if God permits it, I will. But
yeah.
It's been that fight was a pinnacle of my career. That's what launched me into the top 10 and everything. So that was a great fight. Yeah, that's the highlight of my career.
It's so impressive, just everything that you did. I have to say, it's totally amazing.
Except for the knifing part.
You know what? Even
that wasn't too amazing.
Even the fact that happened to you and you survived, I mean, that's also
yeah, but
amazing.
I'm trying to use it as a positive. You know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Is, you know, and the more I can get on shows like this and talk about it, and like I said, I'm writing a book.
Oh yeah. So what's the name of the book?
I want to call it When the Lights Go Out.
Oh, I like
so,
it.
yeah, I got a lot of good ideas. I want to expose a lot of the dirt and filth that I saw in boxing, and I want to put it out there.
Cool.
Because, I mean, these
You'll have to come back
fighters
and show
have
us.
no say, you know, and it's got to stop. And it's just, we get taken advantage of, whether it's MMA or boxing. We get taken full advantage of, and it's got to stop.
What do they not have say over?
The whole business side of it. I mean, we're the bottom of the totem pole. And the promoters and the managers and the agents, they all get their cut. They all do these backroom deals, and the fighters get left in the dust. And we're the ones that put on the show. We're the ones that do it, and it's not fair. And I really want to be a voice for all fighters. I'm serious. I have enough knowledge and sense to know, and I can still talk, that I can do something about this. You know, I got out of the sport at the right time, and if I can be a voice, I want to be a voice. And I think by starting off by writing my book and sharing my experiences, and then maybe going to using that as like a catapult into the arena of speaking in front of people, or, you know, whatever I need to do, whatever the next step would be in the process.
Wow, I completely support that. And I think that's fantastic that you're doing that, because I know there's a lot of stuff like that in different sports, not just boxing and football.
I mean, oh man, I have friends that play football, NFL
Yeah.
football, and they don't even watch football. They can't even stand to look at it. Like the friends that I know, and they have a bad taste in their mouth. A lot of them. I can't speak for all of them, but the friends that I have, they walked away. They're fine with it, and they just don't want anything to do with the sport anymore.
Crazy.
So,
when do you think your book's going to be coming out?
We just started it, so maybe 6 months to 7 months. I don't know.
Okay, good. So early next year.
Probably early next year.
You'll have to
Middle
come
of
back.
next year. Let's say middle of next year, but it is coming out. We are doing it. We're working hard on it.
Good.
So I'm gonna try to get it out there as quick as possible, and I want to really push it. So maybe I can get on the show again or whatever. and push
Definitely.
it.
You should come back, and then hopefully somebody will get the story and make it into a documentary or something.
Yes, I would. Man, we got so many good things coming on. I have an interesting story, so I really want to put it out there for people.
Yeah.
And I'm not scared at all to show the true colors of everything. You can see the dirt and the gold. It don't matter.
Thank you so much for watching boxer David Nino Rodriguez on
The Red Booth.